Welcome everybody to another review for Homeless McGee and World of Tanks. As you can tell, I'm being a little bit more loud and a little bit more exciting, and that's because I'm doing this review in the middle of the afternoon and not at 2 in the morning, because I have a wife and a son, and if my big obnoxious voice is waking them up at, 2 in the morning, there will be hell to pay. So, with that being said, today we're reviewing the American Tier 9 tank destroyer, the T95. This tank is as you can probably obviously see, the turretless tank destroyer. Its cousin where'd she go? Is the T30 right here. This is the turreted version. They both have the same gun. They played totally differently. As you can see, I did not go down that line. I just won the T95. The reason why I wanted it, if any of you guys played Battlefield 1942, the Secret Weapons expansion, this tank was in there, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, just look at this tank. It is a beast. 4 tracks? Come on now. So, yes, this tank, as it's lovingly known as, the Doom Turtle, and it rightfully deserves that name. So, I'm just going to jump right into this because I know most of my reviews are like 30 minutes long, but I'm going to try to cut that down a little bit, at least on the reviewing side. There's a couple different ways you can play this tank. The first way is you just take hits for your team. Now, why can you take hits for your team? Because you have 305 millimeters of frontal armor, and that's just the superstructure. That's not including the mantlet. So yes, this tank from the front is nearly impenetrable, unless the enemy team's using gold rounds, of course. But if they're not, this tank can be a real sucker to get through. Weak points from the front, this lower glasses here, as you can see, kind of it's sloped back pretty far. It's hard to hit that. If I'm fighting another T95, instead of going for its other 2 weak points, these commander's hatches, which are actually pretty well rounded and have a decent enough armor that unless you hit it straight on, it will ricochet off. But if I come up against another T95, I'll always try to go for this lower glasses here. I just happen for myself to have the best luck that way. So, filling in the gaps, taking hits, that's what this tank is for. You can lead a very slow charge with your team towards the enemy base, and just watch them, cower in fear. You do have 152 millimeters of side armor. However, that's just the superstructure armor. That's not including your tracks, which do count as spaced armor. And then this here, let me see, I can get it better from the back. Let's see, you can see that little gap right there. This plate here is another spaced armor. So a lot of people will think that shooting here is the best way to shoot at the tank, at the T95. You're wrong, son. You're wrong. That's a lot of spaced armor to get through, and especially if you're using heat rounds, they lose a lot of their penetration the more spaced armor they go through. You want to shoot as this top part here, obviously from the back, but you want to shoot at the upper part here. Don't shoot this lower part, because then you're going to be hitting that 152 millimeters of armor. Now, of course, from the back, as any tank, it's got no armor. So this tank is meant to be an assault tank. It is meant to close the gaps. You could play it as a sniper because, lo and behold, it is the slowest tank in the game, 13 kilometers per hour. That's pretty slow. I think that's walking speed. I could be mistaken, but it's pretty darn slow. So if you wanted to play it as a sniper, you very well could, but I don't think it's going to be as enjoyable because you're not doing as much to help your team as you could be if you're on the front lines, or at least in the secondary lines, just being a good stopgap. Okay, so I've already gone over some of this, but I'm going to go over the strong points of the tank. It has good armor, pretty much everywhere. It does have weak points, but from a distance, they're nearly impossible to hit. And I've seen people from the side shoot me, point blank range and bounce. Hopefully I can get into a match where people try to swarm me. Those are always fun. Another good strong point, the gun. Let's take a quick look at that here. This is the top gun. I would not recommend using anything but this gun. Rate of fire is very slow. 3.28 rounds per minute, and that's with a rammer. So 3.28, you're going to get a shot off, every 3 a minute. It's slow, and especially if you're in face-to-face engagements, that can be a killer. So this is best used at mid to almost close range. 3 rounds per minute isn't much. Now, we're looking at penetration. 276 for the average shell, just your regular shell that you can buy. 276 is higher than most tier 10 mediums, so you definitely have enough penetration to shoot most things from the front and penetrate them. Save, another T95, a mouse, an E100, and an IS-7. Now the damage is fantastic. 750, that's average. I've seen this thing do darn near almost 1,000. I know for sure I've gotten a couple 900 hits in there, but I've also gotten a bunch of 500 damage hits in there as well. So give and take, you've got this amazing penetration, amazing damage, but a slow rate of fire. You can't have everything. Now the accuracy, again, as I've said in previous videos, there are other YouTubers for tanks that will say that's bad accuracy. For me, that is actually what I like to see on a tank. Of course, if it's lower, it's better. But 0.38 accuracy means you can snipe, means you can hit weak points, and it means that you don't have to always aim for the center of mass on a tank to just even think about hitting it. 2.5 aiming seconds, that's actually not true in my opinion, because this thing moves so slow to begin with. You can actually fire very accurately while on the move with this tank because you're not moving that fast anyway. I mean, how many times have you seen in the movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger kill 1,000 dudes and he's walking with his gun? Think of it the same kind of way. You're walking with the gun, it's going to be accurate. That might have been a bad analogy, but the point is, this thing moves so slow, I don't think it ever gets to the highest or the highest inaccuracy that your reticle can expand to, because you're not going that fast unless you're turning and moving the gun all at the same time. So yeah, that's the gun. It's a beast. I mean, just look at that gun. I can't. This is as far out as my camera will zoom, by the way. There we go. Just to give you a little bit different perspective on it. But from the front, this is as far out as I can zoom. It's a pretty big tank. Now, weak points. Again, I've already kind of gone over these. It is slow. It is the slowest tank in the game. No doubt about it. It is very slow. If you don't like playing slow tanks, if you're a fan of mediums, if you're even a fan of heavy tanks, and you come onto this thing, it's going to be a shock. This tank is a cruel taskmaster. It will whip you into shape. It will beat you up. It will make you beg for mercy. However, it will do the same to the enemy team if you play it to great effectiveness. The traverse speed is really bad as well. So not only are you slow, you can't turn the tank very quick. Another term I've been hearing of lately is carrying the team. Because in World of Tanks, the teams you get, 80% of your team will suck. None of them will have, 10% of them will have over a 50% win rating. Not even that much will have a decent efficiency rating. So carrying a team means you have a tank that can not only carry the team, like your tank's so good that it kind of negates the suckiness of your team, but also another term called flexing. Flexing means your tank can do multiple roles, and that's where this tank has another massive weakness. You cannot flex in this tank. So what flexing means, oh my god, the enemy's capping the base, I need to get back there really fast. Medium tanks can do it, some tank destroyers can do it, and let's be honest, most heavy tanks can get back to base fast enough to stop the cap. This tank cannot. Can this tank flex to be a scout? No. Can this tank flex to do what a heavy tank does? No. It is the T95. It is its own tank. It really doesn't care what the rest of the tanks do. As long as you are doing your job to take the hits for your team, fill in those choke points, and sniping if you want to, you're doing your job. The T95 is one of the most unique tanks in the game. Now going back to the strong points, you have the greatest weapon of all, and that's fear. When you turn a corner with this tank, people run, they try to shoot your tracks, they do whatever they can to keep you from turning that gun towards their face. You have fear factor with this tank, even in tier 10 matches. But if you're in a tier 9 match with this tank, and you're at the top, there's nothing you should be afraid of. I mean, this tank literally is, a beast mode of a tank, especially if you're at the top. And another little term I like to coin here is called the pain train. Because you're so slow, and your team usually doesn't want to be on the front lines, I'll usually say at the beginning of the match, hey guys, can I get a push? Let's make a pain train. And I'm not kidding you, I've had 6 tanks push this thing, and we come around a corner, and the enemy team just soils their diapers, and has to have their mommy wipe their little butts, when I come around the corner with, half the team behind me. So it's an awesome tank. It's tons of fun. It can be frustrating at times because it is slow. and I'm going to do a game live, so it's hit and miss with this tank. As another YouTuber has said, Mighty Jingles, Bohemian Eagle. If you watch his review, he's so right. It's either feast or famine with this tank. You're either just taking all the shots and eating bullets and dishing it right back out, or you're just too slow to do anything to help your team if something starts to go wrong. So that's kind of the basis of the tank itself. Now, I haven't gone over much of crew skills or equipment on any of the other reviews I've done, but for this one, I feel like I need to. For your crew skills, you want to max out repair because they will be shooting at your tracks all the time. My tracks get knocked out so much because that's all they want to shoot at. Now, you notice I didn't go for repairs first, but I did max them out on the second one. What I did here was I obviously got Mentor because I'm going to get that 10% extra bonus XP for my crew because I'm going to keep this tank forever. So I wanted that. And then I got Clutch Braking. What Clutch Braking does, it increases your traverse speed. That, I think, has saved me many, many times, being able just to turn the tank towards the new target before he gets a chance to come around me. Because it's so slow. And for most tanks, you don't want to play to the tank's weaknesses. You want to play to its strengths. But because it's such a glaring, huge weakness, anything you can do in the skills here, and I'll show you some more, to increase your maneuverability will just help this tank so much because it is the slowest tank in the game. So, it might just be putting a band-aid on an open wound, but what can I say? So, with that being said, let's look at the driver. So, I do have clutch braking. I have clutch braking maxed out. Then I have repairs, and then this is the one I'm working on now, smooth ride. Basically, it just increases your acceleration on rough terrain. So even though this thing can only go up to 13 miles an hour, or kilometers, if I can get there faster, I want to do it. Another thing I've done with my gunner, I've got repairs. Now this is one I've never done before, Adrenaline Rush. Basically, if you read it, when you get below 10% health, you increase your rate of fire by 9.1%. So this thing is a bullet sponge and a bullet magnet. I am at 10% or less health quite a bit. So this is a very viable crew skill because if you get 9.1% faster firing time, that's pretty darn good for a gun that fires so slow. So basically, you're a cornered animal and you want to, fight back, get them. That's what you do. Adrenaline Rush is fantastic for this. And then if you notice, what I've also done here is gone for firefighting. And I'll go for firefighting next on the driver once I max out this one. But because this tank, not that it catches fire often, what happens is I get swarmed or flanked because I'm being dumb or I don't have team support, and they start shooting at my engine. So what I do to combat that is I use an automatic fire extinguisher. I know this is a premium consumable, but I do spend the credits on it because it is worth it. As you read, it automatically puts out the fire to begin with, but before it's used, you have plus 10% to fire protection, which basically means minus 10% chance to an engine fire. So, not that this tank has a high chance to get its engine caught on fire, it's just if you get flanked, they're going to go for your engine, and that's the last thing you need is getting caught on fire. So, if I do catch on fire, again, which happens, that's why I'm going for firefighting. And then what do I got here? Oh, snapshot. Snapshot's just to get the accuracy up a little bit of the gun when I'm doing, traversing the turret. Because that 2.5 seconds is, I don't usually like anything above 1 point or 2 seconds, but most of the tanks do. So anything to get that aiming time down is well worth it. Let's see here. So for my equipment, I've got the large, caliber gun rammer, 10% loading time, fantastic. Now I decided to go with vents. 5% to all crew skills. What that means is I'm going to be a little bit more mobile and I'm going to be firing faster because that means my gunner is going to aim faster by 5%. He's going to load faster by 5%. And he will also, my driver will be able to use the torque and the engine power to get me to where I need to go faster and better. It makes me more mobile. Even though it's only 5%, it's so worth it. Now, this here is the most crucial piece of equipment on this whole tank. Super heavy spall liner. If you read 50% armor protection from ramming and explosions. Ramming, people don't usually ram this tank. But, and actually I should have mentioned this earlier, the number one weak point of this whole tank is artillery. because you're slow. If you get spotted at the beginning of the match and there's artillery on the other team, your whole game's ruined because they're going to hit you because you're not fast enough to get away and they're already aimed on you. So the most deadly thing for this tank is those crazy suicide scouts because they're going to go, oh my god, there's a T95, kill him. This at least mitigates that problem. And even when you do get to the front line, you're going to get shot at by artillery. You are, target number one for artillery because you're slow and you're big. And the top part here, your armor, isn't that protected. I got one-shotted by a M40/43, the well, it was tier 6 when this happened, but I got one-shotted from it. It's tier 7 now. But he just hit me right here in the top, penetrated, I was done. So this super heavy spall liner is awesome. And also, as you see, 50% to protection of the crew from injuries. Because you are getting shot up so much, the more protection you have to your crew, the better. Now I've loaded up just 16 shots of regular ammo, 11 of gold rounds. Now, I load gold rounds on every one of my tanks. I'm not going to be shy about it. I spend the credits on it. With the gold rounds, I love it because if there is a big heavy tank barreling down towards me and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be dead anyway, he's going to get around to my side, load up some gold and punish him before he gets there. And then just some HE shells, you never know. They're good for resetting the cap. It's got a decent 3.78 explosive range, so if somebody's behind a corner, possibly you could shoot that corner and reset. I've never done it though, but it's always there. Okay, so I've already got an automatic fire extinguisher. Now this here is another premium consumable, large repair kit. I try not to use this, but if my gun's knocked out or I need to get my tracks back up, I will. But the best thing on it, it gives 10% repair speed to all my modules. So again, tracks get knocked out. Instead of using a repair kit, I'll just sit there, take the punishment because I can, and my tracks get up pretty quick. And then, of course, I got the small first aid kit. So let me make sure I've gone over everything. The hit points of 1700, that's standard. That's pretty standard for a tier 9 tank destroyer. Your heaviest crap, 89, tons. There are heavier tanks, but not many. You're slow. Great armor, great gun. Your gun traverse speed, 26 degrees. That's just left and right. Oh, the view range of 380. I really wish it had a 400 view range. But again, by the time you get to the battle, what you're looking at is already spotted. And then the 745 signal range, that is, that's what all American tanks get at like tier 7 and above. It might even be tier 6 and above, so I'm not too worried about that. So let me just look at the research tree real quick for this. There's not much to research. You should have this gun here from the T28, the 120mm. And then this, I think you get to research earlier. Yeah, the M7 Priest, hello, tier 4. So yeah, you got that. There's not much to research. It's a very straightforward tank. Okay, so without further ado, I believe I've covered everything. I'm just double checking. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into a match. And again, this is all live. So this could go really bad or it can go really well. So let's see. I got a feeling I'm going to get into a tier 10 match. And I'm going to be the only tier 9. Wouldn't that suck? But yeah, this tank has been one of my favorite tanks to play. It took a long time for me to figure out how to play it effectively. But with that being said, once I figured out how to support the team, hold choke points, it just became awesome. Okay, so looking at this here, the first thing I'm noticing is the artillery. If I'm not, that is the tier 10 artillery. So, first thing everybody, like I was telling you in some other videos, look at the minimap, look at the enemy team, size them up. That artillery, if he hits me, I'm done. They also have a T95, so I'll keep an eye out for that. They've got a Jagdpanzer or Jagdpanzer E100, Object 268, T1. So it's a very high-tiered game. Now this map is not good for the T95. Was this Erlenberg? Yeah. And I spawned at the wrong end of the map too. So I'm going to turn my little tail. I'm going to go back up to this castle. Now that is a choke point there. But again, I'm not going to try and hold it all by myself. We got an AFK Object 704. Got 2 heavies going that way. And a 5916. But as you look, that's about all that's going that way. And in my personal opinion, it's not worth me to go help them out because I'm so slow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to this castle, and that way I can get shots on the north side of the map, and I can get shots on the south side of the map. And another reason is if you, let me zoom out here. If you look at the map over there where those heavies are that just passed me, there's no cover. So that's another reason why I do not like going to that side. There's no cover. There is artillery, so I'm just trying to get up to this building as quick as I can. That way artillery is not spotting me, and I'm not going to get smashed. Now, I do not have 6th Sense on this tank, so I could have been spotted from that 121, and I would just never know it. But I really want to help out the north here. So again, you can see that speed. I'm going uphill, 11 kilometers per hour. Pretty darn slow. Alright, there is a 121 over there, but he's behind a building. Or T21. Oh, bam. Good job, Object 704. Alright, so we're getting up here now. I know, like I said, that guy was AFK. He sure showed me. Alright, if you look up north, there's a T110E3, which is the tank that comes after this, and then the Jagdpanzer E100. Two very tough targets, but they're not tough enough for this tank. So as you see, they've already engaged the guys down there in the south. They're no longer, they're beyond my view distance. Actually, my computer's rendering distance, which is 500 meters. So I'm not going to be able to see them. But I might be able to get a shot or two off on these tank destroyers up north. Or maybe these guys in the middle. See, this is why I like being here in the middle as a tank destroyer. I don't like being here as a heavy or medium, because I've got shots on just about everything. So let's zoom in here. Alright, I don't have eyes on that guy. I'm going to scoot up. I'm going to get into cover. Get this building here to my left. I'm looking for that Object 268. Alright, these guys are taking shots. Let's see what we got over here. I'm still pretty confident I'm in cover here. Can I get any shots on these guys? No, they're being smart. So again, this is not a team of dummies. Alright, this guy's moving. Oh, is he going to show himself? He's just poking out his gun. Alright, Super Pershing's reappeared. Zooming in. Oh, that was so close. That guy was lucky. But now I know I've been spotted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up, because that artillery, I've got a good feeling I'm about to see a big explosion in front of me. I'd be real lucky right now if I didn't. It doesn't look like it. Alright, there he is again. Now if you look at the mini-map, south is getting smooshed. Actually, they just got destroyed. So, look at all those tanks there. If I was down there, what really would I be able to do? I might be able to get one tank killed. Maybe. But if I was still there, they would have flanked me. And looking at this here, it looks like this is going to be a loss. But I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that does not happen. Alright, Mr. Object 704 out in the middle. Again, I'm not trying to like be a jerk, but not a very good player. And a TD, why would you stay way out in the open? So I'm going to kind of hang behind this bush here. I know it's not providing me a lot of cover, but it'll cover me enough to where I can get a shot off anybody that's coming across the bridge before they flank me. Now, I know this is kind of like a waiting game here, and this might be a little bit boring, but this is what the T95 is all about. Waiting. Alright, taking some shots. Mr. Super Pershing. Alright, here comes the Centurion. Alright. There's... Okay, see? Stuck my nose out. Should I have done that? No, I shouldn't. I should have just sat there and waited. Alright, backing up. Well, they can't hit me. Alrighty. Oh, I missed. I was waiting for that guy. Now, if you look at the map, I might get flanked here. I don't know where that guy's going. Alright, there's a Centurion and the Tiger just waiting for me. There's a good shot. 760 or 720 damage. Alright, they're capping. They're all over the place. This is like... This is a bad, bad match. This is the thing. This is where I'm saying I can't flex. I can't really do much to go help my team out right now. Because by the time I turn around, you know, it's just, they're going to be shooting my back. It's just bad news bears all around. There we go. Oh, Mr. Object! Is he going to penetrate me? Let's see. If he penetrates me, I'm dead. I'm angling my armor. Yep. So there you go. What else could you do? I mean, that at least shows the weaknesses of the tank. Because I'm so slow. If I would have gone there to the south, I would have just gotten swarmed. I would have died earlier. But as you look, that team just dominated us. We only killed 4 guys. You know, so I don't want to leave you guys here with a depressing game, so I'll do one more. See if I can get anything good. Oh, what do we got going on over here? Oh god, they're trying to drown each other. Oh man. Oh! Nice. Well, there you go. What else can artillery do? Alright, let's just look at those team scores real quick. Alright, I fired... This is how bad the team was. I fired 2 shots on him in 3rd place on damage. Go figure. Alright, next. Let's get another good battle in here. What I really am trying to show you guys, and you know, I might actually cut these live ones out if I can't get a match where I can at least show you the tank's strengths. Okay, looking at the matchup here, there's only 1 artillery. I believe that's tier 6, so I'm not too afraid of that. I do have that super heavy spall liner, and the rest of these chuckleheads are tier 9s. So this might actually be a much better game. Now, I don't know if you guys watch the Rising Suns videos. That's another YouTuber. Don't ever go down to the beach on this map. This map is South Coast. Because there's no way to really get out of there once you're stuck in. I know I'm certainly not going there.
Let's go.
I'm going to go down the 9 and 0 line. Let me see if I can ask for a push. See if some guys push me. That'd be kind of cool, but it doesn't. Well, we got the Centurion. Just saying thanks. Now, as you see, he is making me go faster. I'm going 14 now instead of 13. But now, again, I'm going 13 up the hill. And I think his gun might be able to shoot over me. Okay, I was just telling him, you know, letting him know that he's actually helping. Now, going down this line, there's a Jagd Tiger in front of me. That's an awesome tier 9 tank destroyer, German. Probably the best one as far as the damage potential. And this Centurion player is pretty good too, so let's see how this all pans out. And anything that I'm going to encounter here once I come around this corner will be from the front, so I'm not worried. Because tier 9 guns, I'm not too worried about. The only things I'd be worried about is the other tank destroyers. Because the tier 9 heavies and mediums they got probably can't penetrate me from the front easily unless they're using gold rounds. And I'm definitely not afraid of the tier 8s. But now watch, I'll probably get flanked by tier 8s and eat my words. Going around here, I'm going to turn left here and just go straight into them. So far there's been a few guys spotted over there, not too many. There's a lot on that hill to the right. Alright, the Centurion's like, alright, I've had enough of pushing your big butt around. Ready, fire, aim! Go. There's a good shot. Keep moving, because we've been spotted now. Artillery's probably looking at us. Got another 7 seconds to reload. 5. Alright, I know I'm stopping, but if I can get this shot... There we go. There's one of their tier 9s. Oh no, that was an IS-3. Never mind, I thought that was an IS-8. Okay, one of their tier 8s. Now, I want to cross here, but looking at my mini-map... Oh, never mind, there's a T-54 right there. Let's see what this cocky guy does. Oh, nice. He's tracked. Capitalize on that. Tracked him again. Alright, I got shot. I'm trying to figure out where that shot. I'll do that later. Alright, another 6 seconds. Pershing over here. Loaded. 2 kills. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go down this way. As you see, there's only 3 of us here. We've already taken out 3 of them. We're doing very well so far. Now there's their guys up on the hill. Alright, aim. And... fire! Oh, see, there's the gun misbehaving. I just took out his tracks, and I was definitely aiming for the center of his mass there. Okay, keep him tracked, boys. That T-30 is probably the most dangerous thing still up in the team. Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, hit him, but he activated his cloaking device right at the last second, so I wasn't able to see exactly how much damage he did. Alright. Now this is the point where what do I really do from here? Because I can't really get up that hill. It's too far to go to base, and all the other tanks are on the other side of the map. This is where, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what to press on. I think I'm just going to press up on these guys, see what happens. Maybe, yeah, it's just, this is why this tank's so slow. If I was a medium or a heavy, oh, I'd just go right up that hill, or I'd go to their base, or I'd do something. You know, if you looked at M103 and that Yog Tiger are pushing up, they are pushing up the beach, and there's nothing I can do about it. Now I am being wary because the last thing I need is them shooting down on my flank here, but there's not much else I can really do. So yeah, I guess I am gonna work my big cow butt up this hill, see what happens. We do have a few heavies guarding base. Good job, guys, I guess. Alright, watching this Tiger. Okay, this VK is not paying attention. And if I can actually get up this hill here, I'm going to give him a good scare. Now, this game is totally even. I wish I could get to the beach and help out, but I'm just too darn slow. There's no way I'd go barreling through the center, taking shots. Alright, I'm going to start aiming here. I really don't think this guy has seen me, or maybe he's just denying, you know, denying the fact that I'm actually here. You know, I'll probably never ever see any other T95 driver come up here. Yep, now he spotted me, and there's nothing he can do. Yep, there's that fear factor. He backed up. Team capitalized on his mistake. So see, fear, such a great weapon. The T-34 is not in front of me. I thought he was for a sec. Now, the T-28 might be still up here, that prototype. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going to get a good shot at this Tiger. Where the freaking crap did he go? Come on, AMX. Spot him for me. I'm just waiting for that T-28 prototype to come around the corner and blast me. Oh, there he is. Good shot, good average damage there. It's only got 305 health, so hopefully those guys should be able to take care of him. I'm going to come around this corner here. I'm in a really weird but yet advantageous... Oh, the T-28 went back to base. Okay. So I'm pretty much alone here in the center. Hello? Is this guy AFK? If he's AFK, I'm just going to take one shot and move on. Looks like he's AFK. Yeah, he looks AFK. I know most people are like, oh my god, get that free kill, but just look at our base. It could very easily get overrun at any moment. And I've got to focus on the guys that are actually trying to get into the base. That Tiger's behind a rock. T-34. He's over there. Ugh. You know what? You only live once, and God hates cowards. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go try and get to our base. Now, the T-34's got a real nasty gun. And so do I. Oh, come on, push up, push up, push up. Come on, push, push, push. And fire! There we go. Just even the odds for that little Frenchy tank there. Now, if he backs up again, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, yeah, go ahead, shoot at me, brah. You can't do anything. Come on, French guy, capitalize. What are you doing? Alright, we are capping now, so this was a very good game. Now, I know I'm kind of in a weird spot in the middle of the map, but again, I can see everything now and shoot at everything. Alright, now the object is over at our base. Again, if I was in a medium, I'd be right there helping him. Oh, come on, can I get this shot? Can I get this shot? Come on, move forward. And there we go. There's almost... That's 4,899 recorded damage, mind you. Because I think that one shot hit the T-34. Oh, okay. So there we go. Look at that. 3 kills, 4,899 damage. Fantastic. Let's see, I might have done more. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? That is the power of the T95. Let's look at something else here. Potential damage received, 2,000? I only have 1,700 hit points, so there you go. So I took 6 hits, only 2 of them penetrated me. 4 were non-penetrations, which means they got my tracks, but that was it. I went 1.25 kilometers. So there you go, guys. Now as you look, oh man, I ran out of premium time. I totally forgot about that. But even without a premium count, doing that much damage, not using 1 gold round or any premium, I only made 30,000 credits. You know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If I would have had a premium account, that would have been much better. And I do, but I totally spaced out. I should have bought some more. I think this weekend there's a 10% sale. Now the XP here is doubled, but, you know, again, that's a lot. So I hope I've showed you guys a very good match here and a very bad match in the T95. And I think that's perfect. Feast, famine. First one you saw was famine. I got 2 shots. My T95 only got to 8, or only got to eat, you know, parts of tanks. This one, I just wrecked their faces. So, again, play the T95 correctly, play to its strengths, not to its weaknesses, and you'll do just fine. So again, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give me a like, a subscribe. I'm really trying to grow my channel. I'm playing with my some of my good buddies just to get some diversity in here. I really enjoy making these videos. If you guys want me to review any of these other tanks, and I've said this in other videos, if there's a tank I don't have, if it's up to tier 6, I could pretty much get it in a week. Just let me know. I'll review any of these tanks other than the ones I've already done. But I really love doing these videos. I have a blast. My main goal is to make other World of Tank players better. You know, if I can help out just one person get better at World of Tanks, my job's done. So, again, I really want to thank you guys for actually watching and taking the time. If you've got this far, you know, in the video, I do want to thank you. Again, I'm growing this channel. It's very small at this point. You know, mostly my friends, relatives, and neighbors watch these. But if you're one of those people that don't, I really would appreciate your feedback. And, you know, I'm not against critiques. I'm not a wuss. If you want to say I suck, say I suck. If you think I'm fantastic, there might be a small check in the future for you. I'm just kidding. But, again, there's the T95, American Tier 9 Doom Turtle Tank Destroyer. So have a good day, everybody. See you next time.